Hi everybody, Rackleflackl here. As there might be a few Americans and Canadians lucky enough to be traveling to Runefest in London, I figured I'd just throw out a few pointers for those lucky folks, as well as some of my friends in England on what can be expected, or maybe unexpected, when people from different sides of the pond meet up. Now, I'm not going to cover any ground that's been gone over 1,000,000 times, such as the fact that the driving patterns are totally opposite, or that if someone from North America wants to bring a laptop or electric shaver along for the trip, they're going to need to buy an adapter for the totally different outlet designs. But I do want to point out a few language differences. Even though in both England and North America the English language is primarily spoken, there are a few minor things that might cause a bit of confusion. As the ultra-cool YouTuber Zandy Amanda pointed out in one of her videos, there's more than a few things that are referred to differently. For example, she pointed out that what the British refer to as crisps, a logical name for the crunchy fried potato snack, North Americans refer to as chips. So, an American or Canadian visiting a British restaurant might be expecting this when they order fish and chips, but they'll actually get this. Some chuckling might occur if someone from my side of the world sees on a menu the tasty dessert known as spotted dick. You see, in North America, the U.S. especially, dick is for some strange reason a slang term for, well, it's a word that can sometimes be associated with part of a man that it's... Yes, exactly. Thank you, Gunther. Anyway, Americans might be confused by that, and they likely won't know what bangers and mash is either. But food isn't the only thing confusing. Clothes can sometimes cause embarrassing situations too. For example, in the UK, these are trousers. In the US, these are pants. In England, pants are more commonly underpants. In England, these are braces. In the U.S., these are what we understand to be braces. These are suspenders in the States. In England, suspenders are what Americans call a brassiere. I imagine if I went into a British clothing store and asked for a pair of tweed pants and suspenders, I'd likely get an apology that tweed pants aren't available. After all, that sounds a bit itchy. And I'd likely be fitted for a C cup and perhaps shown a nice selection of evening gowns. A most uncomfortable situation might arise for smokers. In England, a slang term for a cigarette is from the Old English word for flame-producing kindling, a fag. In the United States, the only definition for a fag would be a derogatory term for someone who flames in a completely different sort of way. Also, the verb do can in some parts of the Americas have a rather adult overtone. I would so love to do her. You do know she's a dude, right? So, if an Englishman asks an American to partake in a cigarette break by saying, "Hey, let's go do a fag," the reaction may possibly be this. Or this. Depending on your inclinations, one suggestion might be in either case, run. Another embarrassing scenario might be with a certain innocuous phrase used by someone wanting to give someone else a wake-up call. In England, it might be common to drop by a friend's house and knock them awake, or, even more commonly, knock them up. This term is completely unknown in the US and Canada. The only definition for knock up in this part of the world is for some unfathomable reason to make pregnant. So, if a well-meaning English bloke says to an American girl, "What time should I come by and knock you up in the morning?" you might get a reaction like this. Or possibly this. In either case, the best suggestion overall would be, run! Hopefully, these tips will be helpful to smooth over relations between people from opposite sides of the Atlantic. I hope each and every one at Runefest has the best time ever. One day I'd love to join you all. Until then, catch you later.
much to say.